Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm coming at you guys with an update for my CRYSTRON deck. This deck is really awesome, you guys. Honestly, I know that certain people might like to play this as a control deck, and it can be played as a control deck. My preference was to play it as a combo deck that has the elements of a control deck and has follow-ups and contingencies and can actually grind. Combo decks that can grind are always going to be good, yo, especially when they have consistent 1 and 2 card combos, have ways where they can actually put up 4 monsters on field, make an make an oppo before the 5th summon, things of that nature. It just has so much good going for it, and it plays some really strong cards in the extra in the main deck. It can set up practically infinite negates. Honestly, it might not be infinite sometimes, but 8 to 9 negates is like, dang, that's a lot. Which is obviously the Kyoto Waterfront Gamma Seal setting up with like Arclight, Dragster, Savage. Just some really crazy boards that need you to have a Dark Ruler no more. Like, this deck is super awesome, you guys, and something about it, it's CRYSTRON's. What Needle Fiber should have been designed for, and should have just said, it requires 2 CRYSTRON monsters, including a tuner. That would have been nice. Or any tuner plus a CRYSTRON monster. That would kind of just make this card not as abusive. But hopefully nothing happens to my Needle Fiber, because I did wait for him, and I am a CRYSTRON player. But this deck, like I said, it's really awesome. It's a combo deck. Besides setting up multiple negates, you can also put up just the basic Gamma Seal board, Kyoto Waterfront. With the Skull Dread, those are some really cool things that you can do. I'm going to get into the list, so what I'm going to do is lay out the cards, I'll explain it, and then I'll show you guys a couple combos at the end of the video. Check out all my CRYSTRON content on my channel. I have an Infinite Negate Build-A-Board workshop that had the frogs, totally awesome, just some crazy stuff if you guys want to check that out. And I have a build that played I think 15 hand traps that I topped with. You guys can definitely look at those, but let's get into the list. So we're starting off with 3 copies of Sofefnir, the best main deck CRYSTRON monster. Just the strongest. He's going to give you all your follow-ups, contingencies, and just allow you to grind. The card is just incredible. It's an extender. It just allows you to dump names Union in the Grave so that you can get certain banish effects. With Needle Fiber out now, you don't really need to save a CRYSTRON on field to pop it and summon out a tuner. You can just do that on command off of Needle Fiber. So that's something that really helps the deck, because it was like Thunders and Orcus where you have to manage your activations and save at least one. Like normally it was the Turtle for its effect on field to pop it, summon a tuner. You don't really need to do that with Needle Fiber, so you can really go ham with your graveyard effects. We played 3 copies of Thisfern. Thisfern's basically going to be searching out your monsters. You're never really going to use this on field effect unless you just absolutely have to. Most of the time you're just using the grave effects. 3 copies of Smiger. Smiger just searches the traps. I don't know if there are any CRYSTRON spells. Maybe there will be in the future, hopefully. I was thinking like a continuous spell, that would be nice with the grave effect, like a barrage, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully Konami hears me. And then continuing, we play 3 copies of Parciordo. I like maximizing on the Turtle, as well as just opening good CRYSTRON names, because dang near any hand, I could just probably draw random hands. I've drawn random hands of this deck that look bricky, that just could make a Cherubini and dump this for cost to get a Sofefnir, and I had a random CRYSTRON name in my hand to just combo off. You can still make Needle Fiber and just still go off. It's crazy. So sometimes it's playing the Turtle is not only maximizing the names, but also just opening a good CRYSTRON card for you to pitch off of your Sofefnir for you to combo off. And it's also an extender. You're going to use it to special CRYSTRON from your hand. You typically can easily make a at least a Skull Dread with his effect for 3 to special summon from hand. So if you open Waterfront and a bunch of CRYSTRON cards, as long as you can use this Fern, Sofefnir, or even make a Cherubini, you normally could just get out the Gamma Seal. And for a lot of decks, that's just enough. Like, if they don't have Dark Ruler no more, Gamma Seal Waterfront is just like GG no re. And then I played 2 copies of Rosenix. You can play 1, but if you draw it, then you lose access to that Undying combo. And this is another good name to open. Even making the token with Link Kuribo just to get protection for Oppo, or to have just a token for you to synchro on your opponent's turn is really strong. So yeah, Rosenix, definitely a good card. For our tuners, we played 2 copies of Citri, 2 copies of Rosenix. Citri's probably the best one because it's the easiest one to use. Rosenix, Rion recycles itself, which is something that helps you to grind, so you always have a CRYSTRON tuner in your deck. And then you gotta put respect on Rich Homie Quan, yo. Honestly, Rich Homie Quan, being a level 1 is what makes it super important, and just being a valid target for certain combos. You definitely want to play it. You're not always going to use this effect on field to just special from hand, but him being a level 1 and a tuner really does help a lot for this deck. Because when you look at it, there really aren't any level 1 CRYSTRONs besides him that I can think of. So that's it for the CRYSTRON monsters. Now I'm going to show you guys my starters. So all the CRYSTRONs can be one-card combos if you play the right synchros, but we're not just trying to end on one synchro. So for starters, we're playing 3 Undyne and 1 Gen X controller to go with the Undyne, so you can actually resolve it. 3 copies of Mathman, Undyne, and also the Righty Driver are all one-card combos. We play 2 lefties. I like playing the second lefty so that I get an added grind game with the righty-lefty driver engine, so that I can go for a second copy of righty and then search for the third one. It's really, really nice. This deck can actually grind, even though sometimes the boards you make, it's like, dang, there isn't going to be a turn 2, but it's just still nice to be able to do that in case you get hand-trapped a couple times. Get forced to grind with Eldritch, you need to make sure that you can resource with them too. So the second copy is just really, really nice for me. You can just make plays, no cards in hand, top decking situations. You got a Thisfern, Smiger, Sulfefenir, and a lefty driver in graveyard. You just go +3 basically for no reason, just because of your turn 1 combo. So your boards can reset themselves, just something that's really nice. But you have 9 one-card starters, so these are all one-card combos. Which is really, really powerful. All these can make Needle Fiber. These can even make Cherubini depending on the composition of the rest of your hand. For sure, Undyne can make Needle Fiber and Cherubini, which is really, really cool. So yeah, just saying, he can do both. He can either go for the Cherubini and do Needle Fiber after, or just go flat out into Needle Fiber. If you're going for the Aurora Dawn combo, I would honestly recommend you do Cherubini first, do your plays, and then make Needle Fiber one of the last plays you do to do the Aurora Dawn combo, just to get your Savage and your Arclight. So that you can still, link summon first and then get locked out by Aurora Dawn. So those are the starters. You play 9 that come with, the bricks that are necessary. You can still make plays with the bricks, especially the controller being a level 3 and a tuner. And the fact that you can dump Rosenix without even using Undyne is just really, really strong. So you could still special this from hand, off of Link Spider, and that can be converted into a Needle Fiber play. So drawing Gen X controller isn't really that bad, but you have 9 one-card combos. So it's really, like I said, the deck, it's pretty nice, and it's consistent too. Even when you draw your bricks, you're still able to combo off because you don't need, like a 5-card combo to go off of this deck. You need discards for cost sometimes, like with Jet Synchron and things of that nature, and you need a spam for Skull Dread, but your combos normally don't require your entire hand to go off. Now the next category of the deck is extenders. I play 3 Chronograph, 1 Time Gazer. This is Spice right here. Chronograph's actually really nice. It allows you to make Cherubini, and also when you're popping with your Sulfefenir and your CRYSTRON effects, you can use this just to extend more with this effect from hand. It's really, really strong. Definitely a really good engine. Personally, even drawing the Time Gazer ain't bad, because you could just use it to make Cherubini, and the Chronographs you draw after are just extenders, because you pop your own cards, which triggers your Chronograph. And then for more extenders, I played 3 copies of Gallus the Star Beast. The card is amazing when you get to mill like Sulfefenir, Rosenix, Thisfern, things of that nature. And I played 3 copies of Defrag. Making Cherubini just does a lot of work for this deck. So it's like Cherubini, Needle Fiber, Turbo. Those are the 2 links that you're going to make, and you make a lot of different boards after you resolve both of their effects. So these cards are nice. They're still more extender, but these are like the easier ones to use. For the rest of the extenders, we played 2 Arborea, 2 Reclusia. Reclusia does help you to go second, and with Cherubini it's a free pop. And this should be basically Psychic Willader, but I don't have it. So Psychic Willader is better because it's a tuner, so it could be a Cherubini target or a Needle Fiber. The reason why these are kind of weaker extenders while they're still good is they require for you to have something on field, like a level 3 or a Link. But with these, you could just drop them like they're hot, and then you can set up for these, but they're never really dead. You're always going to have a Link on field. You're normally always going to have a level 3, so it's like very, very, very rare will these be dead cards. But most of the time, these are the better extenders that you want to use for the deck. And the last extender is it's a one-off. The Sea Archiver. It just gives you an additional target for your Cherubini in case you already had all the CRYSTRON cards you need. Because normally you send the level 3 CRYSTRONs off Cherubini to set up for your combo. If you already had them, you'll dump Archiver and just extend more. So it's really, really strong just having that one Archiver in there. And then these are targets for my combos for the Needle Fiber, and this is for the Waterfront. Obviously, these can be extenders as well, but mainly they're just there for the combos. So, yep. And then for the spells, I'm playing 3 copies of Waterfront and a Terraforming. Waterfront's just super duper strong. I feel it's really, really powerful this format. Gameciel is just a crazy boss monster. Negate and banish, and the fact that your opponent's just going to give you more counters, and your Arclight gives you counters, and your Impact, your CRYSTRON Impact gives you counters, and even just Synchron on your opponent's turn off Quandax and other plays like that. You can set up this with 5 counters, use 4 counters, and then put more counters on it just to keep negating and banishing. It's really, really powerful. Waterfront plus practically any, like Waterfront plus Undying, you know, random extenders, just like crazy. You can make Skull Dread really easily. One Foolish Burial, it's like almost anything you need it to be most of the time. And then for the traps, we play the 3 impacts, the 1 entry. You still want to try out at least 1 entry because just utilizing its graveyard effect gives you an additional resource for your follow-up plays. You're going to be banishing it to modify levels because you synchro on your opponent's turn with this deck. And you're going to be dumping Crystrons that actually get effects in graveyard. So it's just like gives you follow-ups and sets up for nutty combos. Now for the extra deck, I play the 1 Needle Fiber. So if you have space for 2, and if you actually have a second, because I only have 1, you would want to play 2 because you want 1 for your Auradon combo, and then you want 1 to actually leave it on field and then banish it because Impact can bring it back from the banish zone, and then you can just utilize its effect. Not utilize its effect like if it's Link Summon, but let me just go ahead and read it. So basically, this Link Summons card, blah, 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 blah. Let's get past this part. During your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you can banish this card, Specialist Synchro Tuner from your extra deck. So that's the part that you can keep reusing. If you summon it off Impact from the banish zone, you can use its tag out effect, not the Link Summon effect. So if you have multiples, one can be used for the Auradon combo, the other can be used for its actual effect on your opponent's turn, which a lot of people just don't really use these days, but it's super strong. Cherubini, 1 Link Spider, 1 Link Kuribo. These are the little links, but they get you to your combos to make the bigger links, the Auradon, Skull Dread, the Appaloosa. Luckily, you can make Needle Fiber off of little resources, so you can easily go Skull Dread into Gamecill, and just basically having extenders in your hand, you can make your Needle Fiber under the Skull Dread, and you can just, you know, basically summon the Auradon here next to the Gamecill, still summon your 3 tokens, and do your combo with just the Skull Dread and the Gamecill there. It's really, really cool. So, yep. And Appaloosa is just there so that you can have a way to play around Nibiru, because this is a heavy combo deck. And easily you can just spam, 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 make your Appaloosa. So it's really, really nice. If you're nice, you can even make Apple for your 5th summon. For the Synchros, 1 Karen Quandrax, 1 Trish. You can actually Trish your opponent on their turn. And just getting damage push is really important. This card is very, very powerful. You can banish your opponent's monsters with it, pop it, and then get their monster from their banish zone. It's really, really strong. This should actually be Borreload Savage Dragon, so pretend that is one. Black Rose, even on low resource games, when you get hand trapped too many times, you can set up for Black Rose on your opponent's turn for a tempo swing. And then we have Don Dragster, we have Herald of the Arclight, Quandax, and then this should be Shooting Rhizar. Formula Synchron's nice to get that plus, you know, basically getting a draw. But Shooting Rhizar is a bit stronger. It still can synchro on your opponent's turn like Formula, but it dumps Crystron names that you need for your follow-up. So Shooting Rhizar can be stronger in this deck if you have it. Now I'm going to show you guys some combos. So I'm going to start with Undyne. Undyne's a 1-card combo. So what we're going to do here is we're going to normal summon Undyne, paying cost, which is something that's beautiful about this card. The fact that it sends a water monster for cost makes it a really, really strong card, even going second. Dump Rosenik. So basically this card like hardly ever gets negated because the only thing they're stopping by negating it is you getting controller. Which most people don't care about you getting controller because they don't know, you know, they don't know what you're about to do with this controller. So Undyne, pay cost, search controller. You're going to dump Rosenix, banish it, make a token, link the token into Link Spider. Then you're going to special summon your controller. And from here, you can make Cherubini or you can go to Needle Fiber. So just off of the 1 Undyne though, you can do this. Link these 2. Probably put them over there into Needle Fiber. Use Needle Fiber's effect. Summon out your Jet Synchron. And basically, if you have any other random level 3 extender, you could basically make Cherubini prior. So if you had, like, literally, it could be Sea Archiver, it could be, like, Gallus, it could be Defrag, it could be Psychic Tracker, it could even be the Crusadias, like, it could be Arbora, for example. So that's where it adds, where you could make Cherubini to get your follow-up so you can get Impact. But basically, just off this 1 card, it's going to be a 1-card Needle Fiber with an extra body on field. So you'll obviously just link these into Auradon. You know, do your combo. You're basically getting Borreload Savage and Arclight off of an Undyne that's actually still there on the field, which is really cool. It's like Undyne did all that, and she's still there. So it's really cool. But if you have an extender, which is really nice. That's where it comes to play. You're basically going to be making your Needle You're going to bring this out. You're going to summon your extender. Then you link these into your Cherubini. Cherubini is really important to get access to your CRYSTRON cards. So if you have no other CRYSTRON cards in your hand, what typically you should do, just to set up your grind game, you're going to want to dump that one Smiger off of the what's this girl's name? Cherubini. And then you'll banish the Smiger to get your impact so you can get access to your grind game. So you would just do that, and then you can continue your plays just, you know, doing your standard combo. Something else that's really cool is this Smiger could just, instead, if you want to pay the cost for your Dagon Jet Synchron, you'll just dump the Thisfern off the Cherubini, banish the Thisfern, and then search the Smiger, so that when you do this, go into Aradon, you know, make all your tokens, bring back Jet by pitching the Smiger, then you basically do the combo, you know, special summon the Mecha Phantom Beast monster. You're just making Savage, and you're making Arclight. That's going to get banished. And your Cherubini is still going to be there, which is really, really nice. Cherubini is a strong card. Your Smiger would then just search the Impact, and Impact has a lot of targets now. So it's really, really cool. If you had any CRYSTRON card in your hand, then you would be dumping Thisfern to search out your, what's his name? Sulfefinir. And Sulfefinir is just going to get you a lot of pluses, you guys. And follow-ups. Not a lot of pluses. It's just going to get you follow-ups and get you good names engraved. And it's going to be there for your next turn. Obviously, we know that a Righty Driver is a one-card Needle Fiber. Mathman can just do so much. Like this deck, the one-card combos are just so sweet. Mathman can dump, you know, Jet. It can dump O-Lion. Being a one-card Cherubini, you know, make the level 3 token Cherubini. You could dump Jet. Make your Needle. Because remember, you play more than just these for Needle Fiber targets. You could dump the CRYSTRON cards. You can dump Sea Archiver. I mean, Mathman just does so much on his own. It's actually crazy. So Mathman, just there's a plethora of things you can do with him. Even just by itself, just dumping these cards, you know, is just really, really strong. Dumping the CRYSTRON cards, it's really, really strong. So now I'm going to show you guys basically a combo where you don't open any of your 9 starters, but basically it's just going to be like just random extenders plus like a CRYSTRON card. So something you could do with these 3 cards right here. There's just random extenders plus a CRYSTRON card. So you would go Gallus, mill, as long as it's not a spell or trap. So basically, we're just going to pretend Gallus doesn't mill. Because my deck's not even shuffled. It's still from the deck profile. So you're just going to Gallus. And it doesn't even have to be Gallus. It could be Chronograph Sorcerer if you guys just want to play it that way. You could just be Chronograph. You would scale Chronograph, pop him, summon Time Gazer. You know, you'd special this bad boy out. And you basically link into your Cherubini. You'd use Cherubini. And at this point, you'd be dumping out your Thisfern. Where Thisfern at? Where my boy at? Dump Thisfern for cost, and then you'll go ahead and banish Thisfern, search out Sulfefinir, and then you can pitch this, summon Sulfefinir, not in these zones, away from there. Pop him with his effect, use his effect to special from deck, and what you'll go ahead and do is you can actually special summon out Rich Homie Quan if you want, and then you could make your Needle Fiber, and you could still have Smiger. So this would be more of like an actual CRYSTRON combo. So what you would be doing here is you would basically link these into Needle Fiber. You use his effect to summon an actual CRYSTRON tuner from your deck. So you summon out Citri, and then you use Smiger to search for your impact. And so you have 2 ways to synchro on your opponent's turn. And you also get impact to special summon this to make an even bigger synchro play. So you have Citri, so Citri can just bring this back bare minimum, just so you can make a Don Dragster on your opponent's turn. So you would do that, just get a negate. Needle Fiber tags out, and you'd basically go into like Quandax or Shooting Rysar. So just, again, this has to be Shooting Rysar, because Rysar is just so freaking strong. So, like again, that has to be Rysar. You go into Rysar, and basically what you would do is you could dump something to change his level. So he's a level 7, so if you want to make a Borreload Savage Dragon, you basically dump a level 2 to bring him down to level 5. So you could even dump your O-Lion, and this is where it can get more nutty, because then O-Lion then brings a level 3 token, so it's like just it's just so much sauce, you guys. There's so much really cool. And this is more reactive. This is not like, oh, I just locked you out. It's just like kind of like a regular CRYSTRON combo. You could even dump this, get that token on field, just for example, you know, and then you would tune the Savage, tune the Rhizar and the Thysfern into the Borreload Savage that I don't have right now. Where he at? And then you'd equip the Cherubini from Grave. So you're basically like, you're just doing all this on your opponent's turn, which is really nice. If you don't really care about the token, you could even just sync with the token. You don't even have to dump O-Line. You could dump the Turtle too. So just really, really nice. Some things that you can do with this deck. This deck is just super cool. I actually have real-life combo tutorials on YouTube that just really don't seem to get views because I don't think really... It just shows by the views that people really don't care about CRYSTRONs, but they'll use the needle fiber though. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this profile, you guys. Just wanted to show a couple cool combos. Obviously with Waterfront, you don't really need a combo for Waterfront. You just draw a decent hand that can make Skull Dread, which is really easy because this deck spams so much. The deck just spams so much. Like, if you get lucky, you basically get to make like a Skull Dread preemptively and get your Gamecill out, and then do the Needle Fiber combo. So that's going to require pretty much your whole hand. But basically, you would need to do your Cherubini plays and your CRYSTRON plays first, and then make your Needle Fiber after you did the Skull Dread, which is really, really nice. It happens, but most of the time, you just want to put out Gamecill with like an impact and a way to sync on your opponent's turn. So you can put out Gamecill, Arclight, potentially a Dragster. It's really, really crazy how this deck operates. But I'm going to say a quick little prayer. If you guys don't want to stick around for the prayer, you could just skip past this part, and then after that, I'm going to just sign off the video. But our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord, and please forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen. All right, you guys. Deuces as well, yo.